Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. We're coming close to the end of our study of the book of Ecclesiastes. We're going to finish up chapter 10 today. This is the proverbial section and the last section in which we're exploring before we start making some hard-won conclusions in chapter 11. So we're going to finish chapter 10 today. And when I say proverbial, I mean proverbial because these are all quotables. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verses 16 through 20. Woe to you, O land, when your king is a child and your princes feast in the morning. Happy are you, O land, when your king is the son of nobility and your princes feast at the proper time, and then for strength and not for drunkenness. Through sloth the roof sinks in, and through indolence the house leaks. Bread is made for laughter, wine gladdens life, and money answers everything. Even in your thoughts do not curse the king, nor in your bedroom curse the rich. For a bird of the air will carry your voice, or some winged creature to tell the matter. I think every line is a quotable. It's a proverb to live your life by. Verses 16 and 17, we have to remember that democracy is unknown at this point in human affairs. Things aren't up for a vote. Monarchy is the order under which most people live their lives. And so, if an area is ruled by a monarch who is young, who is not in charge, who is manipulated by the power circle around him, and the people in power use that power to enjoy themselves instead of for the greater good, that is very, very bad. The resources that the wealthy and powerful have are to be used for the common good, not for drunken feasts in the morning. I think that's clear, and we understand the wisdom of that. Through sloth, the roof sinks in, and through indolence, the house leaks. That's just a corollary to whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. If you don't use your life to live, then your life will be a living death. You'll be decaying before you die. The roof is already going to be sinking in while you're still living in the house. Verse 19, bread is made for laughter, wine gladdens life, and money answers everything. Is that an observation, an indictment? What is this? And I think the answer is yes. It is both. It is an observation. He doesn't say money solves everything. He talks about money answering everything, and that's true. It continues to be true. We think if we throw money at a situation, it will be fixed. And they did too, and that's not the truth. It's also true that when we have grievances, most often, a payoff will calm us down, whether our grief has been settled or not. And we want our grievances monetized in our culture, so that we can sue for emotional distress, punitive damages. I mean, he's describing the way we are, and so it is an observation, but it's also an indictment. And then someone's always listening. It is kind of a big brother is watching you. It's not really, describing a dystopian police state so much as it is telling us, listen, once you say something and it gets out there, you can't take it back, and someone's always listening. We know this to be true. In the first place, our phones are listening. And if you don't think that's true, talk about needing to buy new tires for your car for a while, and then open up Google and see what pops up. Your phone is always listening to you. God is always listening to us, of course, but people are always, once you say something, it's out there, and it's going to have its consequences. So be careful what you say. And be careful what you think, because if you don't think it, you're not going to say it. And so it calls for us to have a great deal of restraint and self-control. Um, and anyway, the beginning of chapter 7 is going to be an interlocking poem that connects with chapter 10 and then leads us into the conclusion. We'll pick up with chapter 11, verse 1 next time. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word.